in a short time. And I didn't feel like I was very insecure about my speaking, because I was like, well, I know I just did all that, but what do I have to share with you guys? I don't know. I didn't feel adequate, right? So I just want to say, you are where you're at, and you're going to help people no matter where you're at. So don't ever put yourself in that mindset that you are not adequate enough to share with people, to train with people. Just, you are where you're at, and people will look up to you. And if you don't know the answer, I always tell people, go find out, and don't like fake the answer. Just say, oh, I'll get back to you, right? So that's always been helpful. As far as teaching classes and speaking skills, I always find that when teaching classes, it's great to start out with your personal story, or some kind of a story that really hits hard to people's hearts and really tunes them into your story, or whatever that is that really drew you into Young Living, because that's what people love. And I also find when I'm teaching classes, figure out who your audience is, because you can kind of twist and shift your story based on who the audience is. Like, you might have a whole room full of young moms, right? We'll kind of shift your story towards that. Or you might be in a room of, grandmas and grandpas, whatever that looks like too. We'll kind of shift your story towards that, and kind of just shift it to who your audience is that would be more relatable to them. So that's what I have found also, is just getting good at your story, and whatever that is. So.
I love that. Another thing I'm going to add to what she was saying there is, you can ask the people what they came to hear. I think especially, it can be in a big group, it can be in a small group. And if you are expecting, 6 people and 2 people show up, literally say, did you really want to talk about bones and muscles today? Or is there something else you would rather hear about? Because you will find a lot of times it goes off in a completely different direction. And again, you're speaking to your audience, and it will make such a difference. So I want to talk about, like, let's say you weren't in Young Living. What are some basic things for being a good speaker that you have to be, like, in life? You will get further with some of these different skills. Sorry, you guys. Ooh. And one of them is,
you need a cough drop.
Do you want to take a break?
My O2 is still a little bit low, so talking kind of gets me. I should have just worn my oxygen, but I'm being prideful. Okay, so the first thing is make eye contact. Like, we should be looking at each other, and we have gotten so used to looking down and looking at our phone that we're not making eye contact. So I'm going to say this, even on your computer, where the placement of your computer is. When I'm looking at you guys, I'm looking at the top of my screen where my camera is. My computer itself is elevated, so I'm not looking down. I am looking up, because we are programmed to make eye contact and trust people that are looking at us. So if on your videos you are looking down like this, can you see a huge difference between this and this? One direction, I'm talking directly to you, and you feel like you and I are having a conversation. But if my computer were low and I'm looking down at my computer, it changes. Like, you're not even seeing my eyeballs. And more than that, I'm not seeing your eyeballs. And it makes a difference, not just in person, but it makes a difference when you are online. Like, you may find that you have a lot more results in your videos if you just, that tiny change. Lift up your computer and then spend $10. So I have this room that I'm in right here is really low light. So I got a light that is right next to my computer, not directly in front of it, because I want to be able to look up, and it lightens the room. So I don't look like I'm in a secret cave or anything like that. And it's $10. So I'm not saying you have to spend huge money and get a great lighting system and all that stuff. Not necessary. This was nine something. It was under $10 to get that light. And it's a nice big light. It's not too bright, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference in what people hear and what they see. So first thing, eye contact. Second, Do you ever see me where I'm not smiling? I smile. When somebody else is talking, like when Laura had her turn, if you happen to see my picture, I am nodding in agreement with her and I've got a smile on my face because I don't know who's looking at me. And a smile makes people feel more comfortable with you. They feel more trustworthy. It also changes what you're putting out there to the universe. When we are sitting here with a pout, everybody pout with me right now. I got that. It takes effort, it takes energy. And as soon as you do it, you like feel like you even have to bring your shoulders down a little bit and you got to get in that pouty mode. So I want you to practice shoulders back, chin up. Remember, that's where the camera is, and a smile on your face. We should be in a place where we're happy, where we're content, because people have seen enough sad, cranky, angry stuff going on, and they're not going to come to your video to watch you be sad, cranky, and no fun. They're looking for that fun and that joy, and your smile changes it. And even like when you go do body language classes, which there are a ton that you can do on YouTube on body language and things that we do, it changes the perception of the person with you. So if you are talking and you are sharing and you've got that energy going on, and then you get nervous about something, like maybe you misstepped. You were looking at your notes and all of a sudden you said a part that you weren't going to say till later, and you tip your head down like, oh, and I did it wrong, and you do your shoulders down, or you're going really good, you love our oils, you're telling people about it, you're confident, these are things you really like, and then it gets to the price of the kit. And you get to that point and you go, okay, so it's like $165 if you get the kit, but you don't have to get the kit. You can just like grab an oil. Now, here's the thing. What happened in that moment, you had engagement. They were listening. They were like, this is the coolest thing ever. Their brain was happy. And the minute you dipped your chin and your shoulders came in because you didn't believe it was worth that value, or you thought they're going to think you're just trying to sell them something. They don't know what happened, but they know that suddenly there is unbelief coming from you. And it changes their, yes, I want to do this too. I need to talk to my husband first. Or, oh, let me think about it and I'll let you know what? Maybe I'll just try that deep relief. But it came not because of any of the preconceived ideas you had. It came because all of a sudden they knew something was sketchy. They didn't know what was sketchy. And in your head, you're just like, oh, I just don't want to tell them. I don't want to tell them. So I really encourage you, if the dollar amount is a problem for you, if you're like, oh, it's so much, and you really feel that, I want you to practice something. I want you to say, you can get any of our amazing premium kits, and it's anywhere from $165 to like $300, depending on which diffuser you choose. And I want you to do that at the very beginning of the conversation. The very beginning, you sit down, you're going to do a class, and I want you to tell them, we're talking about the NutriRod, and you can get it for $155 to $250, depending on how much juice you want to get started with. Now, let me tell you the amazing thing about our juice. And the reason I want you to do that is I want you to take the thing that makes you nervous off the table. And I want them not to be wondering the whole time, this is going to cost me an arm and a leg. Because some people feel that way. And you might feel that way over the price. But if you just throw it out there at the very beginning, it takes the pressure of knowing that there's a sales pitch at the end right off of you, and it takes it off of them. Because here's what you have to understand. If somebody clicked on your video or they came to your class, they know you're going to, get this, sell them something. Like, have you ever gone to a home interiors class and not expected them to sell you some kind of wall decoration? Have you ever gone to, and oh gosh, I can't even think of things you buy anymore. Any of those home parties, when you go to a sex home party, what are they going to try to sell you at the end of the sex home party? Sex stuff, right? So if you don't like sex stuff, you wouldn't go. Like, you're not going to find me at a sex party. That's not my thing. But if somebody went, that's their thing. If somebody came to your class, if somebody came to your booth, if somebody went to an expo and you're there among hundreds of tables and they stopped at that table, they want information, they want the product. We just have to throw those shoulders back, put that chin up, and tell them your story. Stories are what's going to get the people, because your story, are you confident in your story and what happened in your universe? You bet your baby. Like, I can tell you all about what I did for having a stroke in a second. I can tell you in a minute and a half. I can also tell you in 3 hours. I can tell you in a minute and a half what happens with the lungs, because that's my story. I'm confident in my story. And when you believe, when you have that confidence, the people that you are talking to will feel that. They will see that truth, that belief. So take the thing that makes you the most nervous right off the table. If you are sitting there right now and you're like, you know what makes me nervous? I hate telling people that it's a multi-level marketing thing. Like, it really makes me nervous. Then start with that. See, when I was first told about the oils, it really made me sketch out that it was a multi-level marketing thing. Like, that was an issue for me. Wasn't an issue for any of you guys here. And that way they can be like, dude, I feel you. That bothered me. I know it really did. But what I found was, and then you can tell your story. I found that when my girlfriend put those raindrop oils on my neck, as stinky as it was, my life was radically changed. You see, I took the thing that could make you nervous and give you that sketchies, and I took it off the table. So that now they're in agreement. Some of them are like, yeah, that was an issue. And you'll find most of the people like, no, it wasn't a big deal. But you want to know who thinks it's an issue? All of us that are over 50. Because we went through the whole Amway thing. And we're like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to draw the circles. But younger generation, they are all about, how can I figure out to make some extra money and not work a traditional job? So they are all about it. When you're talking to the 40, the 30, the 20-year-olds, they are on board. So it's just us old fogies that have issues with that. So if it's an issue, what are you going to do? Say it first. Take it off the table. Take that thing that bit your belly in a knot and take it off the table. If you're nervous about speaking in front of people, can I tell you this? It's normal. Like, decide, you know what? The gurgling nervous is going to be there. And I'm going to do it anyway, because what I want is bigger than this moment right here. And you can take it off the table. Ready? When you start, be like, you guys, this is not like something I'm amazing at. I'm not a big speaker. I'm nervous. I got but let's put on some peace and calming together. Because what are you doing? You're being vulnerable. And the same people, you guys have heard me in front of hundreds of people say, today I'm nervous. Today I got the butterflies in my belly, and I take it off the table. And nobody in all the years that I've said that has come up to me afterwards and been like, well, I was going to sign up, but then I found out you were nervous. And I was like, no way, I don't know what she has. That's not reality. Instead, people, they want to know, what are you really going through? Like just now, when I said, I don't have my option on right now, I'm having a bit of a problem. None of you went, oh, I'm clicking off. I can't do this. That lung damage. You didn't do that. Well, neither are the people that you're going to talk to. This is what I want you to know. No matter what makes you nervous, no matter where those things are, I want you to take it off the table. I want you to do it anyways. Put it at the front of the conversation and just do it anyways. And there's some basics: that eye contact, that smile, shoulders back. Everybody practice that again. Shoulders back, chin up, big smile. We should live that way. We should also, like, I don't know if you guys notice, I'm a hand talker. My hands are always moving. I have been at restaurants before where people will come up and start signing because they think I'm sign language. They're trying to be so nice, and it's like, ew, let's stop with these, right? So I'm comfortable doing it when I share with you guys, because I do this if we were sitting one-on-one. This is who I am. So I want to give you this. When you're on a stage or you're doing a party with people, choose to be authentically you. So if I tried to hold these hands and make them not move, I would not be authentically me. I would have to sit very still, and then I'm concentrating now. Keep your hands down. Don't put your hands there. Don't put your hands in your pockets. Don't put your hands on the stage. All of the different things that you'll see, like different classes that you can take, go through what you should and what you shouldn't do. And I want to tell you, the most important thing that you can take from any of those classes, any of those speakers, any of those things, is you have to be authentically you. Who are you? What are the things that you like? So if you're going to do this, be you and authentically. Add the smile, add the eye contact, add the chin up. And I'm saying eye contact even if you were talking to a big group of people. If you've ever been to some of our big conferences, you know that I move stuff out of the way so that I can see the whole room. I want to be able to look to the right, and I want to be able to look in the center, and I want to be able to look to the left, so everybody feels incorporated. Another reason why I do that is I can pick up from the audience. So if I'm looking around and I'm chit-chatting and I see people are just leaving the room, that I know I have rambled on too long and they're bored. So I want to make sure that I say or do something that brings them back. I want to make sure I'm throwing questions out there. Sometimes the questions are, you don't have to answer out loud, but have you? And I put a question in there so they feel like they are drawn into the conversation, so that they feel like a piece of it. You can have people ask questions. I don't know if you've been at my bigger ones. I typically just have people write down questions, because you can lose an entire group of people because one person can tell a 45-minute question, right? So making sure you're in control of your room. So those are little things that are going to help. And learning to be a good speaker is all about practice. I don't want you to think, okay, Shannon can talk in front of a ton of people. I've spoken at convention. I can't be a Shannon. You don't have to be a Shannon. You have to be a you, but I want perspective for you. So when I first started doing classes, I did it because it was more time effective, not because I was like, oh, this is the easiest, best way. I did it because it was time effective. I was a mama, 4 kids, a homeschooler. We cleaned toilets for a living, all the things. And I had enrolled about 4 people at this time, and they were all asking me questions because they were talking to other people too. And I did not have the time to be on the phone or sit down with all of these people together all the time. So somewhere around my 3rd or 5th week, I had my first class. And I said, okay, bring your friends with you, the people that you just got, let's sit down and we'll do this together. And I had just gotten one of the oil books. So I was not, I hadn't spoken in front of a ton of people. I had done one-on-one things. I had done, stuff with my homeschool group, but it was not get up on stage, teach in front of people or anything. And I knew nothing about the oils. I need to say this again. I knew nothing about our oils. When people would ask me, well, how do they work? I literally would laugh. Elf and magic. Like, that was my answer. I don't know how they work. All I know is I put the oils on and I am a completely different woman. I feel so different. I feel so good. You got to try it. So when I had everybody get together, it was probably my 6th week, actually. I brought one of the oil books with me and I opened it up to each of the individual oils that came in the oil kit at the time. We had one, it didn't come with the diffuser, y'all. We had to buy ours back in the olden days. And I literally passed the book around and I had one person read about peppermint, everything it said. And I said, fantastic, who's already used the peppermint? What have you done with the peppermint? What do you like about the peppermint? Oh my gosh, I didn't know we could do that with the peppermint. How exciting. Slide the book over, the next person wrote about the lemon. Oh my gosh, lemon does that. What have you done with the lemon? How long have you used the lemon? What do you think about the lemon? And I wasn't standing up in front of a class. I was sitting at the table while we were learning together. So if you think you have to have this big, perfectly rehearsed, amazing class, you don't. What you have to do is be willing, do it anyways, and start chatting by making everybody go through. That's literally what we did. Probably our first 15, 20 classes. I brought the book and we read about whatever it was. We had to learn about Ninja Red, like our 2nd month in. We're like, oh, let's do it. And we broke down Ninja Red, everything that was in it, how it works. And we did it by using a book because we didn't do the internet-y, computery stuff back in the olden days, right? We had to do this old school. So right now, you can grab yourself an oil book. Right now, you can print off each of the oils in the kit just off of there. Right now, you can use our catalog. You can sit down in somebody's house and you can open it up and say, okay, read what it says about lemon. And they can read the description of lemon and you can go through it. You can read what it says about how you can use them. It's right in the book right here. You can look in your own catalog and you can have one person read what it says about aromatherapy, one that's going to read about putting it topically, one that's going to read internal, and that's in our catalog, you guys. So even if this is your first week in and you just got it, you can go to somebody's house and you can break it down one thing at a time. Being an amazing speaker is something that you do over and 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 over, and you just keep doing it. You will gather more stories, you will gather more personal experiences, and then you share those. It's not, there's not a magic, do these 3 things and the whole room is going to love you. There's the be you, authentically you. Put a smile on your face, make eye contact, and share in the easiest way possible. If you want more, you're like, Shannon, I don't just want to go through the catalog. There are so many stinking resources now. Like this right here is the game plan. This is the script book. And you can legitimately, she has 25 classes in here. It's actually 27. Not sure why they're identified as 2 bonus scripts. But like, I want to show you how I would do it. So I've got a kids class coming up. So I want you to know, I do not read from the very top all the way through. Now in here, she makes it really easy. She tells you like this one, if you did this class, it's 45 minutes to read it word for word. It's about 3 minutes per page. Or if you're a fast reader like I am, it's like 3.5, 2 minutes per page, right? I don't read the whole thing. I highlight the important parts. So when I'm chit-chatting and talking with you, I am always looking at notes. I always have stickies everywhere. It's just they jumpstart the conversation. So I don't read a script word for word. You can, but if you're reading a script word for word, can you make eye contact? Because your face is where? Right here. I don't want your face down. This position is not making that person trust you. This, when we look eye to eye, our eye contact creates oxytocin. Oxytocin is a bonding hormone that your body makes when you're nursing your baby or you're holding the bottle and you're really close and you're looking at that sweet baby and you're looking, and that eye contact, 45 seconds to 2.5 minutes, your body kicks out oxytocin. It's a bonding hormone. It's a trust hormone. So when you're taking the time to look eye to eye, you're creating a bond. So learn when, even if you type up your own thing, your own script of what you're going to say, learn to do it in an outline form. So the very first part is story. So what's your story? That should be 1 minute to 2.5 minutes, depending on the group. So what's your story? So this is a kids class right here, right? So on mine, where she's telling her story, I put a little sticky note because this is where I'm going to tell my story. So for kids, I got to tell you, when we first got in, my daughter Alicia, she was 7 years old and had skin that was a leathery man. Like she was sick all the time. She had patches where the hair wasn't growing. And we figured out through all kinds of trial and error that she had massive chemical sensitivity, like to so many different things. We didn't know which one it was. And I freaked out one day. I was talking to her doctors and they wanted to try almost a chemo drug that they were going to try on her because her joints were huge, like a grapefruit, 7-year-old teeny tiny little girl. And I'm like, well, will this fix it? I'm like, well, no, it's not going to fix it. Like we're going to have to do this over and over. And it's going to cause all kinds of pain because the injections they were doing. And I was pregnant. I was like 8.5 months pregnant. And I'm pretty sure that's why I was so extreme in my reaction, was the emotions. But I'm like, no, you're going to kill her. And I took her out. I had a temper tantrum. I put the kids in the car. And I have 3 kids. So I was pregnant with the last one. And I remember going home and going, I don't know which chemical. So I went through everything in our house, and anything I could not pronounce, I threw in a garbage bag, from the kitchen, the bathroom, everywhere. I didn't know what I was replacing with it. But I knew my baby girl was dying and I had to do something. And I remember my kids were sitting in the living room silent. Keep in mind, my oldest was only like 6, but I had freaked them out because I had lost it. And I remember my husband coming in and I heard my son, who was almost 7, and he's like, Mom is in a mood. Just scary. And he'd come walk into the kitchen and I had all these bags and tears. And I'm like, they're trying to kill her. They're trying to kill her. And this was before Young Living. This was an act of desperation because I didn't know what to do for my baby. And when it came to the changes, so a lot of stuff we didn't replace. We went to just water for brushing our teeth because I didn't know what else to do. I was trying to save her life. Okay, so what I'm explaining here, that story, I am sure all of you guys can relate to that moment of aha, right? And I'm telling you, if I were teaching this class, I would go from that of mine was extreme. I got rid of everything. And the change in my daughter, including her leathery skin over the next few months, was dramatic. Like we seen peach fuzz growing in. And y'all, this was before Young Living. This is the importance of those chemicals. So I'm not telling you go through and clean everything out overnight. It might be one thing a month that you change, or as you run out of stuff, you get rid of it. But your littles, you have to make the right decisions for your kids. So again, I'm paraphrasing what she's saying with my story attached. And that's exactly what you need to do. Whatever resource you're going to use, it has to be what? Authentically you. That is me and my story. And then, so I tell the story, and then I want to give them the answer. Like, what was the light at the end of the tunnel? When Young Living came along, I found out so many things that could replace it. I found out we had kids' toothpaste, so I didn't have to just keep doing water and freaking out that my kids were going to have tooth problems. I found out that there was a juice that I could give them that would give them that energy and give them that robustness back. I remember shortly after we got into Young Living, that same little girl, my 7-year-old, she was 6 at the time. I remember her coming up to me and curling up one day, and she's like, "Mom, my head doesn't hurt." And I said, "Good, baby, did you have a headache?" And she looked at me and she said, "Mommy, my head always hurt." Oh my gosh. It was a change of some things. So I'm telling you, to be that speaker, it is sharing those truths. It wasn't just that she got some juice or just that we changed her toothpaste. It was a world of things. And our job, your job, like, what is your mission? What is it that makes you passionate about Young Living? What is, for me, there's different categories. And so I can speak into the lives of other mamas because I have been down that road. I might be a Gigi now, but I was a mama first, and we've been in long enough that I have those experiences. But how about you? What are the things that when you think about it, you're like passionate, you're like, oh my gosh, my husband is able to do X, Y, Z, and he couldn't do it before. It is going, what is going to make you excellent, what is going to get you to the yes for your people, is making sure that you are speaking to your truth to their need. So if somebody came, my class Saturday is Loving on Your Little. So that's a part of my Loving on Your Little class. I'm going to make sure I focus on the littles and what you can do from grandparents to, you know, moms, dads, where you're at in that point. And because I want to give the answer, I want to give the story, I want to give what my solution is and some changes that they can adopt immediately. These are things you can do whether you purchase Young Living or not, because I believe it's more than just a drop of oil. But then I want to say, what are the additions that you can do? So answers immediately that cost you nothing, and then answers that can just skyrocket that, make it so much stronger. What are parts and pieces I can pull in and I can make it happen for you now, today? So our kids set kit, how important is that? Our mighty bites, making sure they're getting those enzymes in. There's so many things that I can roll into that conversation that can empower parents without giving them fear. I think so often we tell the horrors, but we don't say, here's the answer. Like whatever we were just talking about, we talk about hormones and oh, this, that, the other thing, when they're doing this to you and it causes this and it causes this. And then we're like, you might want to try my oils. Yeah, we need to be just as passionate about where is the answer. Well, how can I change your life today? And listening, if you are doing a one-on-one, no, I literally start my one-on-ones after, hello, how are you? Hello, I'm fine. Hello. Is what brought you here today? Like if I have a booth, I would say, so what are you looking for today? Like what brought you over to the booth today? What drew you in? Why are we sitting here talking? If Linda brought a friend with her and we're sitting at Panera, I wouldn't say, Linda, why is Jewel here? I would say, Jewel, so why did you sit down with me today? What were you hoping to hear? Because what Linda thinks Jewel wants could have nothing to do with what Jewel needs. Right? I want to speak Jewel's language. I want to speak to her. And I'll tell you this too. You really want to be a good speaker when you're one-on-one, you mimic that person. So I'm a very fast talker, as you may or may not have noticed. But if I'm sitting down and talking to someone that's quieter and they're more slow, more laid back, I will step back and I will slow myself down so that I don't overwhelm them, so that I can speak their language, so that they don't feel like I was this crazy, fast talking lady. I want to speak their words. I want it to be truth for them. So I just slow it down a little bit. It's hard to stay there because, again, I like to talk really fast. I like to get to the point. Let's get this thing done. And then at the end, Okay, I don't care whether it is a big group of people. I don't care whether you're doing it on Facebook. I don't care whether it's a one-on-one. You give them a way to get the product. And I'm going to say it again. I don't care if you're on the computer. I don't care if you're at an expo. I don't care if it's a one-on-one. You finish the conversation with a way to get started. You pull out an application and you say, did you want to start with everything we talked about just now, or do you just want to get some of that juice? Like, which one would you like to get going with? Do you want to sit down with your sister and we'll get both of you going? You have to have a wrap up. And in that wrap up, your chin needs to stay up. Your eye contact needs to stay there. Your smile has to stay here and your shoulders have to be here. And again, if that makes you nervous, you know what you can do? You can give them the application at the very beginning of the conversation. You can tell them, I am going to be saying all kinds of stuff, and I do not want to forget to tell you how to be able to get started. And you can literally say, you can go to oilyshannon.com or whatever your website is, and you can go ahead and grab whatever it is right at the beginning. So again, you're going to take the nervous off the table. If it's something you forget to do, you're like, oh, I never told her how to get started. And you did your whole thing. And or you're one of those that just gives them a stack full of paper so that they can see what they think. Okay. I need to tell you this. I have been in Young Living since 2007. I am a researcher by nature. I go to class after class after class, all these things. I still don't know everything. Right? So if I don't know everything, then how do you think that person you just talked to for the first time and you give them this pack of information or a bunch of samples, how do you think they're going to make a good decision? Do you know that we on average only make 3 major decisions a year? And I'll tell you this, a major decision is considered anything over $100. So if you decided to get gas, you already used up one of your things, right? So my job is to make it easier. My job is to get the oils into their hands so that they can feel better. If I don't get the product into their home, then everything I just taught, everything that I just did is only going to confuse them, but not get them started, and or it's going to prep them. So I did all my stuff. I handed them with a stack of stuff. They're like, okay, thank you very much. And then they're at a farmer's market and my Tina is there and Tina answers the rest of the questions. And I guarantee Tina's going to tell them how to get started. She's going to walk them through that. If they meet Laura at a restaurant, Laura's going to finish it. So all I did is prep them for Laura. And now Laura's going to benefit off that work. Now, it's okay if that happens, but you will see that happen a whole lot less if you finish, if you have a solid close. Like I said, it's $165 to $300, depending on what diffuser you choose. Whichever one you want is fantastic. Or did you want to get some juice and oils right now? Like, which one did you want to get started with? Do you want to get that juice and add those enzymes we talked about? What works for you? Do you want to, no matter what, you're going to get that question from me. At every video that I do when I'm talking about product, I always at the end of it say, hey, no matter how you found us, if you found us because it was on one of your friends' Facebook feeds, if you found us because they sent you the invite, if you found us because you were just Googling and you found my video, get back with that person. Let them know you want some oils, you want to get your product, because that's a close. That's a call. It's called a call to action. A pastor does a call to action at the end of it. What's that call to action? You do not know Jesus Christ as your personal savior? Let us talk to you. Let us introduce you to that. That's our close. That's always the goal. If you're doing a class and it's all people that are already in Young Living, so you got a class for people, you're still going to do a call to action. You're going to say, listen, this class was fantastic, and I'm glad you guys are all here. There's a world of people out there that do not know. So next Monday, when we get together, bring somebody with you. Get over the fear, get over the nervousness of inviting people and bring them. Everybody that brings a guest next week gets up, whatever you want it to be. It can be a roll-on that costs you $1.50. It can be whatever you want it to be, but you have to have a call of action, because otherwise you're wasting your time. A call of action. A call of action can be, y'all, we have never talked about those enzymes before. How many of you are already using our enzymes 2 or 3 people, fantastic. Did you hear today that you need to up that? Like, you're probably not taking enough. And those of you that aren't, which enzymes are you looking at? Are you looking at our new detoxine? Are you interested in our, our pure protein, because it's got all those enzymes already wrapped in there? Which one are you thinking of? See, that's a call to action. That's not just teach a class and they walk away. If we don't tell people what they need to do next, they don't do anything next. If we don't tell people they need to tell other people, they don't know they're supposed to tell other people. A lot of us think that, oh, our products are so good, we don't have to tell them. We're just going to tell other people. And then we wonder why we're only going first level. We enroll people here, and we might be able to enroll somebody under them, but they're not copying us. They're not duplicating. And it's because we're not digging deeper. So the last part of today's class is, how do you make that twist? How do you make it where, because you might be able to get people signed up really good, but it's about getting those people to then enroll people who teach people to then what? Enroll people who teach people to then enroll people. So the goal is always that you are going to enroll 6 people and help each of those people enroll 6 people who help each of those people to enroll 6 people, because otherwise all you are is a kit seller. And a kit seller does not have the stability. A kit seller gets really bumped out because people drop out and they're not repeating and ordering for years at a time. I want more for you than that. So in every conversation you have ever heard me teach, class, whatever, I always say things like, who do you know that? So who do you know that needs a little bit of happy? Dude, who do you know that needs a little energy? Who do you know that is spending all their time at home? Who do you know that is broke right now? Who do you know that doesn't have enough money to get gas in their car? Who do you know that's been laid off? Who do you know? And I don't just list all those off in a line. Instead, when I'm talking about enzymes, I'm teaching a class on enzymes. That's one that's coming up. Then I'm talking all about the enzymes and why you need them. But who do you know that's got some gut issues, right? Who do you know that's got that little bit of a beer bottle? You know people need this. So think about that when you're taking your notes. Or I'll say something in the beginning of the class. As I'm talking and teaching, people are going to pop into your mind. I'm going to say something about cardiogize, and you're going to think about your Uncle Sal. And I want you to write it down. Uncle Sal, cardiogize. And then I want you to do the right thing, morally and ethically. If you know somebody can benefit from something and you don't take a second to say, hey, Uncle Sal, I was just hearing about cardiogize, and I know you've had some stuff going on. This is food for the heart. We need to talk, because when I was listening to this lady teach, your name popped into my mind, and I can't not tell you. And I'm telling you what's happening when those names pop into your mind. It is ordained. That person needs something you have. And here's the deal. This is what happens. You're like, okay, I called my Uncle Sal and he doesn't want to do it. But sometimes you are just a seed planter, and that's okay. You planted that seed so somebody else can come along, and/or a week from now, you can be, Uncle Sal, did you look at that stuff? Did you check out that garlic we were talking about? Did you check out that sulfur? Think of what that can do for your heart. We got to make sure you're healthy, Uncle Sal. I don't want anything to happen to you. And you're the third time somebody else says it, then interrupt, and then you can go back, because sometimes it's not the first time you talk to somebody. Most of the time, advertising wise, it takes people now, it's around 10 to 15 times of hearing something before they're interested. And that's why, like, if you watch a TV show and you'll see the same commercial over and over, or you're on YouTube and it's the same one, you're like, do you not have any other ones? It's because they know advertising. Advertising says you need to see it multiple times, and they don't know when you're going to be back on. So they're going to give you that same one over and over, so you'll at least look it up. It'll take you 5 or 6 times of hearing it before you even Google it. So you just need to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 15. Just keep offering that opportunity. My stalker, I am telling you, my Sherry was after me constantly. Every time we seen each other, she was trying to rub some stupid oil on me. I wasn't interested, but she didn't quit. She was number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 30, number 40, number 50, until I finally said, oh my gosh, what do you have to shut her up? That is how it went. So don't think, oh, I talked to my Uncle Sal, he said he's not interested, and let it go. Because what's going to happen is Patty's going to talk to him, Linda's going to talk to him, Laura's going to talk to him. Everywhere he goes, somebody's going to mention it, because it is there. He came into your mind for a reason. So you can watch him sign up under Patty. or you could just keep sharing every few days. Send them something. And I wouldn't do this with rando strangers, but when it's a family member, when it's somebody keep sharing. It could take him a year before he does it, but when he's ready, he's going to say, oh my gosh, Julie's been pestering me for like 12 months. If I ordered this from anybody but her, she's going to kill me, right? Because you spoke that into their life. So make sure you're giving that. And every opportunity, every time I'm talking to somebody, often before I've ever enrolled them, I will chit chat with them about who they know. I bring it up while we're talking. I know, trying to see, okay, so Tina Sarah has been there before with me. Do you remember at the park, the guy that signed up, he had been doing the petition? Tina, okay. So I don't remember what the class topic was, but will you share how at the end, when I went over there, what did I talk about before the kid? She's like, I don't know, it was so long ago. Before I talked about the cat, I'm like, so what did you pick up in the class that really spoke to you? First, I'm going to listen to him. There was a bunch of people in the class. I don't know what got up. And so he shared the few things that spoke to him, which is funny because that's not where I would have gone with it. And then I said, well, what has been your experience in the past? Tell me about it. Who do you know? What made that jump into your head? Do you know anybody else? Is that a family thing that happens? Like, is everybody in your family that way? So I'm taking him through before I enroll him, before I get his name on that. I'm having him think about the other people in the universe that he knows. Now, this guy, he signed up. He didn't really do anything with it, I don't think. But that wasn't the point. Under every single person that I enroll, I'm going to find out who they know and how we can talk underneath them. So I don't say, would you like to have a party? I don't say, would you like to build a business? I say, oh my gosh, is that like a family thing? Or I say, oh man, who do you know that needs a little bit of energy? Because we're talking about nitro. Do you know anybody that needs a little bit of energy like you do? The family thing is a really good one. Is that something like family? Everybody in your family has? Oh, my XYZ does. My moment is to get them thinking about other people, because the business side will come. If I talk to Pamela and I am talking to her about her sister, her cousin, her brother, her aunt, her uncle, we're going to go sit down and talk to those people in the next 5 to 7 days. I don't wait for her product to come in. We're going to go. That is that call to action. If you feel that you are signing people up, you are doing a lot of kits, but you are not getting underneath those people, this is your missing component. It is more conversation and getting them to think about the world around them. And this is in person. This is at the end when you're signing people up. This is online when people send you a question. When people send me a question and they're like, I just watched we're going to go enzymes because really it's all that's in my head. I just watched your enzyme class and you were talking about that allerzyme. Is that something that I can just get from you? And I don't just go, yes, here's my member number. Instead, I say, oh, fantastic question. What about the allerzyme really jumped out at you? Because I want them to go, well, I've been dealing with this, this, and this, or my daughter, this, this, and this. And when they say that, oh my gosh, so how long have you guys been dealing with that? See, I want more information about you, and I want to be able to go deeper, because I'm going to find out who you know. Who do you know whose life has to be changed? Who do you know that you know that I don't know? Because that's the key. Who do you know that I don't know? So I'm going to ask those questions. And when she says, yeah, my daughter, and she needs it because, it's sniffle season or whatever her thing is, like, oh my gosh, is that like something everybody in the family has, or is it just your daughter? How old is your daughter? But see, those are questions. People love to talk about themselves. So give them the time to talk about themselves. And then when she says something that's relevant to anything else, and she's like, well, my sister has it too. Really? Now, has she had it her whole life? What has she done about that? Oh my goodness. So she hasn't found anything that helps either. Oh man, I am so glad that you messaged me. You are so going to be able to help your daughter and your sister. You see, I didn't say, do you want to build a business? I didn't say, let's share with your sister. I just put the implication out there. We're so going to be able to help your sis. Do you see that difference? And then when I talk to the sister, what am I doing? Same thing. How long have you been dealing with it? What's your experience? Anybody else going through that? Like, is that something that's just in the office you're working in? Is that something? And I'm asking questions, because what is their favorite thing to talk about? Themselves. I just want to give them the time to do it, because typically I will set up a time to be able to share with the people they know, or that I will pick you up Tuesday. We've got a class on that. It's so going to be exciting, or something along those lines before I ever have them fill out the application. We're all jumping to try to sell a product. Like, she loves the deep relief. Let me get you deep relief. Here's your deep relief. And you sell a product, which is great if you want to be a salesperson. It's great if you want to run a store. Like, if that's your heart's desire, you want to work and run a store and be in that store 8 days a week. 8 days a week. That's a lot of days a week. And that's like your heart's desire. But if you are looking to build a strong organization, if you are a yellow and you're like, Shannon, I really just want to help people. Can I ask you, how many lives does a star change? And how many lives does a royal crown diamond change? When you get that picture, to get to royal crown diamond, you need thousands upon thousands of people. And to do that, it's about getting that next person to talk to somebody else, because otherwise you're just selling kit. And next month you have to sell another kit to get the same exact tech. Where if instead I enroll Linda today and we go talk to her sister Patty, and Patty knows Jewel, and Jewel knows Pamela, and Pamela knows Tina. We enrolled Linda and 5 other people in the same week. And now Linda is never going to quit because Linda has 5 people underneath her. She's excited. Oh my gosh, but what did we do for Patty? Who else does Patty know? So we signed up Jewel, and then we helped Patty find somebody. And under Jewel, what did we say with Jewel? And we go deeper and wider. So it is always, when people say, do I want to go depth? Do I want to go width? You need depth and you need width, because the depth gives you that stability. You've got a whole bunch of people, and that width is giving you the bigger checks and the up ranking so that you're moving to higher ranks. It takes both, but all of them, depth and width, they need you to be able to talk about the next person. They need those things to happen. So I'm going to open it up. We've got about 11 minutes now. Any questions? I wasn't watching the chat. If you guys have thoughts, questions, things, if you do, just unmute and we'll chat about it.
I don't have any questions, but I think those are all really great tips. And I guess what I got out of that is to get really curious about the people you're talking to. Just get curious, ask questions about them and their needs, and listen.
Absolutely. Listen to their answers. Like, one of the things I can tell you is if somebody says, my sister Tina, when she says my sister Tina, I tap. And when I, like, my finger's doing this, and I go, Tina, 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 sister Tina, sister Tina, sister Tina. Because when I turn around and chit chat with her, I want to be able to say the person's name. Because that person meant enough to her that she wanted me to know my sister Tina, not just my sister Tina. That means that names matter to her. Some people can't remember faces, names, anything, and that's not their clique. But if somebody literally says a name, you need to remember that name. Super important. And also remember theirs. So the next time you see them, you know it, because that person, the names matter. People love hearing their own names. What else?
I don't have anything. That's what I wrote down. Get curious.
Be curious. I love that. And you can practice that with total strangers. When you're out and about, ask them, oh my gosh, what are you doing today? Have you had a good day? Are you out and about again? All the different things. All right, Lynn, let me see. I found that I can sell kits well, but trying to get people to open up further to think about their friends or family. So that's where your like block is. And again, I'm going to tell you, this is something you practice. So curiosity, like Linda said, is exactly what it is. So when in the middle of my talk, so it's not like I just try to get them to open up afterwards or after they got a kit, and I don't say, you can get paid at none of that stuff. If I am sharing with them lemon, because lemon comes in our ninja rod, and I say, oh my gosh, you got to smell this one. Like, this comes in our ninja rod. You're going to have all the energy, all the clarity, but dude, smell this. And I will hand them the bottle, and I will rub it together, and I will breathe it in. And I'll say, oh my gosh. So like lemon is happy in the bottle. You smell that? And they're all like, oh, it smells yummy. I have never had anybody go, ew, I don't like lemon ever. Don't do it with oregano. They won't like it. But with lemon, I literally say that is some happy in a bottle. Can you feel that? And they nod. So this is agreement. You see me nod a lot, because when I nod, do you know what you do back? You nod. It's human nature. Look what Linda was doing immediately. She's like, yeah, you do. When I said this is happy in a bottle, Jewel was nodding, because It's normal. So I say, this is happy in a bottle. Can you smell that? And she says, yeah. And then I laugh and I go, so who do you know that needs a little happy in a bottle? Every time I have ever said that phrase, it is not even a full second phrase. Everybody laughs, rolls their eyes, and tells me something. Every single time. Oh my gosh, so many people. So many people. Are you surrounded by sad people? Like, is there somebody that pops into your mind? My office is paranky. Oh, that's awesome. So where you work kind of has some issues going on. And we chit chat about their work. Because what do they like to talk about? Them. Or they specifically say, oh, my sister, man, she had a miscarriage about 2 months ago and she's having a really hard time getting over it. And I stop and I go, oh, I am so sorry. That is awful. I truly am sorry for you. I'm sorry for your sister. I've been down that road before. I am so glad that we got together. You are so going to change your sister's life. Now, that may sound like a saying, especially for those of you that had heard me speak before, but I mean that from my very core. Like the fact that you and I sat down and your sister's been going through something for 2 months, and this little $10 bottle is so going to help. And you, because you sat down with me, you are so going to change your sister's life. So in that nanosecond, I gave her hope. I didn't say, let's build a business together. You're going to make so much money off your sister. Instead, I said, you are so going to change your life. Oh my gosh, I am so glad we sat down. Then I put down the lemon and we go to whatever next oil. So we're talking about peppermint, but that lemon, that's great. You're so going to change your sister's life. I'm so glad we sat down together. Another one that I wanted to share with you is peppermint. So I don't belabor the conversation about her sister, but I make a mental note of it. I also spoke that hope into her life. You were going to change your sister's life. Like, oh my gosh, that's why we got together. Then we talk about peppermint. And I say, this is one that when you got those tight, aching muscles, you can just rub this on anywhere. So anywhere that, you can actually lift your shirt up and cover, go ahead and rub that peppermint on. Or you're really hot, rub it on your back of your neck. Whatever I want to say about peppermint. And then I say, do you know anybody else that has those tight, sore muscles? Yeah, my dad. Oh my God. Do you see? So I'm not literally saying, who do you know? Who do you know? Tell me who you know. Let's sit down. Let's have a meeting. Let's have a party. Let's have a, no, I'm letting her speak about her universe. So if I talk about, brain power and we're putting the brain power on, I'm like, oh, just how some you don't think. It gives me that clear thoughts, those clear mind. We've been home doing all the things. How about you? Is your brain feeling fuzzy lately? Are you kidding? I can't remember where I left the car. Oh my gosh, is that like something that truly runs in your family? Oh, well, my dad, he had some memory problems, but he's in his 60s, he's in his 70s, he's in whatever age they throw out there. And I go, oh my gosh, so how long has he been dealing with those memory problems? Because what do people like to talk about? Their lives, right? So now she gets to pour out all the stuff she's been worried about for her dad, who's got some memory problems, who have things. And when she's done pouring it out, I go, oh my gosh, this is why we got together. This right here, you were so going to be able to help your daddy. Like you were going to be able to give him that, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we got together. And then I go to the next thing. And then at the end, when we're figuring out, you want to get some juice, you want to get some this, some of that, I say, listen, we need to chat with your dad. We can do it over the phone because right now a lot of people like to do things a little more online, or we can have him meet us for coffee tomorrow. I am so excited to see what happens for your dad and his thoughts and his clarity. Oh my gosh. And I'm telling you, the answer that people give me is, are you serious? Are you sure you don't mind? Because I didn't try to sell her something. I didn't try to get her to be this business professional. Instead, I spoke to a need, a concern, a worry that she has. And I told her there's an answer and that she's the answer. So please note, I didn't say lemon is the answer. I didn't say that brain power was the answer. I said she. We don't have a sense of purpose nowadays. Most of us are floundering. They have no idea what they're doing or why they're doing it, right? So I want to give her a sense of purpose, because the truth is, the oils can't change dad's life unless she's willing to let us speak into dad's life. It has to be there. So giving them a purpose is a huge part. My question, oops, brain, very good advice. Thank you so much, Shannon. I'll be trying this. I also just realized I didn't finish my sentence. And my question, and well, oops, brain, girl, you should try some brain power. It is an amazing because we're all there. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do as I wrap up, because we only have 4 minutes, is to tell you this, and that authenticness of you being yourself. Be okay with making mistakes. You're going to forget something. You're going to get home and go, oh, I should have said. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, that wasn't the right date. Like I told them when Young Living started, but it was the wrong date, and we freak out about it. Or how many times have y'all heard me teaching a class and I twist words or I can't pronounce it? I'll go to say it and I'll fumble, I'll be like, and I just give you a different word. I laugh and I go on. It happens often. And I literally speak for a living. I just don't worry about it. The people that would get their undies in a bunch and be all like, oh, I can't believe she said it that way, aren't the people I wanted to play with anyways, right? So you got to realize you are going to draw to you the people that are going to be good to work with. You're going to draw people to you, and you don't want to fight for a person. We had this whole kerfuffle with a person that had been down deep in my organization, and then she wasn't happy where she was, so she bought a spot way up in my organization, tore things up for years, horrible stuff, caused issues with Young Living, saying horrible things about like saying Mary Young is senile, like this whole host of crazy stuff because she's a little crazy. She's always been that way, but she's super manipulative, and so many people bought into her story. And as she has, she's telling people, I've stepped out and all these different things. And it's not true. She didn't have an option. She wasn't going to be able to stay with Young Living because of games that she was playing. And I'm here to tell you, that's not what you want in your world. You don't want, if somebody signs up with somebody else, you bless and let them go, because that's the kind of stuff that you got. It's okay. Just go take any people that you want with you, just leave. Because your sanity, your peace of mind, it's so much more. There's so many good. There are so many people that don't know. I'm going to pass. I'm doing this. I got 1 minute. Do you know that less than 1% of any state in the United States, 1% has ever heard of Young Living? There are millions of people that don't know. So if you're like, nobody's signing up with me, girl, get to a different group of people. Everybody I know is in. Find a different class of people. So people don't know. 99% of the people in any state that you are in, they need this. They need their chance. Just get yourself out there. Start talking to people. Be authentically you. Have fun at what you're doing. And don't worry about the things you miss or don't miss. People aren't going to remember most of what you say anyways, but they are going to remember how you made them feel. That's the important part. All right, you guys, I love you. Let me tell you some stuff that's coming up. So first of all, you can go to my website and you can grab Shannon Hudson YL. For those of you that don't know, there's the calendar. So I have got so many months of things already planned and coming up. Like there's all kinds of stuff going on. And I want you to know that every Thursday we do a business call. It's just like this. You can ask your questions, bring your things, different speakers speak. We've got several diamonds that do it. And next week in June, it's going to be jumping back in. Where do you start? Like what are the steps? Or you're brand new? What are the steps you do to start running again so that you can see that massive action happen in your group? I also have classes every Saturday at 1 o'clock. They're all health topics. The one this Saturday is going to be about loving on your littles. Then next Saturday is a beautifully balanced blood sugar. I think it's a class we don't talk about enough. And then every single, what day is that? Every single Tuesday, I do a class on our supplements and going deep and breaking them apart so you understand them really deep. And this coming Tuesday is Life 9 that we're going over. So every Tuesday, 1 o'clock, that's usually about a 45-minute class, pretty in-depth. And then I'm starting a series in June, starting June 6th, and it's going to be all about cleansing and water fasting and getting all the garbage out of your cells and all the products that we have go with it all the different time. It's a 3-week series. And then I will be in Lapeer in person. So if you live in Michigan, first Tuesday of every month, we're in Lapeer. It's on Shannon Hudson YL for all the details. That's going to be a really good cleansing one we have coming up. And then I'm in Frankenmuth on a date. You can find it on my website. Do you remember the dates, Tina? Are you still on here? Did you leave? Frankenmuth on the 21st. We're doing flip-flop season, bug, sun, and summer fun. The 30th, I'll be in Davison doing summer toolbox. But the 15th through the 18th is the most important. is Grand Convention. You still have time to get your tickets to go to Grand Convention. I think you have until the 30th. So you have 4 days. You think you get a lot of information from us. It's nothing. It is nothing compared to what you're going to get at Grand Convention. So I don't get to go, still having breathing problems. My husband doesn't want me to go higher elevation while I'm having issues, but I will be online teaching everything that I learned. And then we got a big in-person 3.5-hour class that we are doing on June 25th. It's going to be our convention and review. It's going to be a lunch and learn. And we're also going to be talking about thriving with an autoimmune disorder. Those are going to be amazing. Loving on your littles. I'm a grandma and think this would be a great, do you have podcasts? It's always on live, Facebook Live. It's always on Facebook Live. Everything that I teach is shared on Shannon Hudson YL after I teach the class. It gets posted in there. You can also follow my YouTube. They're all available. So see us at 1 or see the replay. All right, you guys, I went over by 2 minutes. I apologize. I love you all. We'll see you at the next whatever. Bye.